What's the difference between chastity and celibacy, I hear you say? Good question. Let's look at that in this video.
I will hold your people in my heart.
Right, let's have a go at this. Celibacy just means being single, or more specifically, not being married. And if you're a Christian, because of your Christian views, then if you happen to be unmarried, then it's likely that you're also abstaining from sex as part of your Christian views of how you should be living as someone who's unmarried. But celibacy itself, it's not so much about whether or not you're having sex, it's about the fact that you are unmarried. And some Christians will make a vow of celibacy, Catholic priests will, and all monks and nuns will. And to make a vow of celibacy is to make a vow that you will stay unmarried for the rest of your life. And so celibacy isn't necessarily something that all Christians are called to. It's what a few Christians might feel that they're actually called to for the rest of their life. But yeah, that's not so common. What's more common is marriage as a Christian vocation. So chastity is something that all Christians are called to. And I think most Christians would define chastity as reserving sexual activity for marriage and for your spouse. So if you're not yet married, that would mean abstaining from sexual activity until you are married. And if you are married, it would mean things like not having an affair. And in my last video about why do nuns make a vow of poverty, I used the image of a car staying in the middle lane, which was an image for just using the things that God has given us in a healthy way and the way that God intends for us to use them. So chastity is maybe, or is a way of using our bodies and our sexuality and sex itself in the way that God intended, and within the boundaries and the safety that God intended. So yeah, chastity is what all Christians are called to. So when people talk about the vows of religious life of poverty, chastity, and obedience, really, because chastity is what all Christians are called to, some orders or communities might change the word to celibacy, because that's actually more accurate of what you're vowing when you're making your vows as a monk or a nun.